In a few more weeks, I will be releasing my first book, which is called Beauty and the Gut. And I thought I would share with you a little bit about my own personal story and the reason why I've written this book. So back in 1999, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease and I was 18 years old. I went to the doctor and the doctor gave me carbimazole and beta blockers to control my heart as well as thyroxine. I was having really bad heart palpitations because I was overproducing thyroxine, and that was one of the symptoms, as well as a load of other symptoms that comes with it. But unfortunately those tablets weren't working, and I went back to the doctor and he said to me, "I'm really sorry, but there's nothing more we can do for you other than remove your thyroid gland." So I had two options. My first option was I could have my neck sliced open and my thyroid would be taken out. And the second option was to have radioactive iodine treatment, which is a tiny little pill to swallow, which will destroy my thyroid completely forever. And I will then have to take synthetic medication for the rest of my life. So I really wasn't very well at this point, and I was 18. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't know anything about healing the body or anything. I put my life in the doctor's hands because we do. We believe that they know everything. So I listened to the doctor. I didn't fancy having my neck sliced open because it meant that I was going to be in hospital for about 4 weeks, and they said it was a very dangerous operation. I could potentially die, and I would also lose a lot of blood. So kind of didn't want to do that. So I opted for the radioactive iodine treatment. We did ask why I had developed Graves' disease, and I was only given two answers. The first answer was, well, it could be hereditary. Someone in your family has it, so it's been passed down. There is no one in my family who has this. Now, the second reason was stress. Stress causes a lot of things. I agree with this one. But I don't think it was the only reason, and I know now that it wasn't the only reason why I developed it. But again, I listened to the doctor. I thought that was the only way, and I decided to have the radioactive iodine treatment. I was 18. After the radioactive iodine treatment, I gained a lot of weight. I had been a size 8 to 10, pretty much what I am right now. But then I ballooned in size up to, at my heaviest, I was a size 16. And it was a big shock because I'd never had a weight problem before I'd had this treatment. So because I'd had that treatment, it was the reason I gained so much weight is because my thyroid wasn't working. And your thyroid is responsible for your metabolism, your energy, the health of your skin, your hair, your nails, so many important things. We really need to keep our thyroids working. So mine didn't work, and I gained this big bunch of weight. And unfortunately, because I'd never had a weight problem before, I didn't actually know how to lose weight. I didn't have a great relationship with food as it was. And I really didn't know anything about nutrition and how to actually heal the body via food. I didn't know anything at all about nutrition, and there was something in me that told me after I'd had the treatment that I needed to figure out why this all happened to me, and I needed to heal myself because I didn't like the person that I turned into after this treatment. I had gained all of this weight, and as a symptom of no thyroid, you also develop depression and anxiety, and you're just fatigued all the time and you want to sleep. None of this was me. Like before the treatment, I was pretty much what I am right now. I loved exercise. I was always just doing things and full of life. And then this happened, and I really just transformed into this totally different person. And I kind of at that moment just felt like, okay, well this is just who I am. I threw all my clothes out because they no longer fit me anymore. And I just started wearing like really baggy clothes because I didn't like my body. I was hiding away under these baggy clothes, and I'd go to the shop and try these clothes on, and nothing was fitting me, and I was trying like size 14, 16s on. And I remember I went into the shop and I tried a shirt on and I tried to do the buttons up and the buttons just popped open, and I'm not big chested, so I gained weight everywhere. It was all over me. And yeah, I really didn't like myself at all. I developed these stretch marks because I put so much weight on, and then cellulite came, and I was like, I've never had cellulite before. Just I really changed, and this is why I've written my book, because I just struggled. I struggled so much to find myself again. And with this weight, like, it's just so ridiculous, but I didn't know how to lose the weight. I knew, of course, you've got to exercise, but with exercise, you then need to look at food as well. Now, because I didn't know anything about nutrition, I was just one of these people who count calories, and so I started going on like a 800 calorie diet, no healthy food at all. It was just, as long as I'm counting the calories and the weight comes off, I'm happy with that. So I did that for a little while, and my weight did start to come off a bit, but I wasn't doing it in a healthy way. I was just doing it because I really wanted to get this weight off. But then as time went on, I knew that I needed to heal my body. There was something inside of me that was saying, you need to learn more about nutrition. And so I started to do quite a lot of research in my spare time. I was going to the library and I was getting books out on nutrition and how to heal the body through food. And it's all being done in baby steps. And this is why I tell people now, like, there are two different personality types. Some personality types want to rush in and just do it all. And there's the other personality type that doesn't. It needs to do things in baby steps, because if you don't, you kind of want to just give up, because there's a lot to do when you are changing yourself. So yeah, it's all been, for me, it's all been in tiny little baby steps. For now, I'm a full vegan, and I don't touch, very rarely, like gluten, dairy, sugar, processed foods, all of that. I eat a very clean diet majority of the time. It's about balance. We still need to have those little treats now and then too. But I know now how to take care of my body and heal myself. And this is why I'm really passionate about helping others, because I don't really want people to suffer the way that I have, and to go through this struggle of, how do I lose weight? How do I heal my body? Do I need to take this medication? Do I not need to take this medication? If you are suffering with anything, it can be a skin condition, it can be a health condition, anything. The root cause comes down to inflammation. You have inflammation in your gut. And if you do buy my book, I cover a lot of topics in there. I talk about IBS, SIBO, obviously autoimmune diseases. I talk about the diets that we should be, not diet as such, but foods that we should be avoiding because they trigger this inflammation in our bodies. You just have this inferno going on inside of you, and there is so many things that cause it. So I will talk about gluten, dairy, sugar, processed foods. Stress causes inflammation as well. All of our beauty products that we use that are full of toxins. The air that we breathe also causes inflammation. It's very important to get outside and get fresh air as much as you can, she says while she sat indoors. But yeah, I want to just make you aware that the root cause of everything you go through is inflammation. Even if you are suffering with weight, it can be down to the inflammation as well, and the levels of good bacteria in your gut. So you have this gut microbiome, which I teach and talk about a lot. So it all comes down to your balance of your good and your bad bacteria. The majority of us today have this much bad bacteria and this much good bacteria, and it shouldn't be like that. We should have a balance. So we need to have more of this good bacteria. We still have a little bit of the bad bacteria in there, but we need to have this good. And if we're eating a diet fueled with gluten, dairy, sugar, processed foods, all of these sodas and things, this is what happens. The bad bacteria starts to grow and grow and grow and grow. And the more bad bacteria you have, the more inflammation you get in your gut, and then disease happens, and then acne happens, and psoriasis happens, and rosacea happens. All of these things, premature aging happens as well. A lot is connected to this inflammation and your gut health and your gut microbiome. So we've got to get this level of balance back in our body. And all your hormonal health as well. It all links into your gut. Your gut is the root that keeps you healthy. And I really hope that you buy my book, because I've written it from my heart, from my own journey. And as I said, I've done everything in baby steps to get me to where I am now. So I was diagnosed when I was 18. I'm now 38. So 20 years ago. It's taken me 20 years to actually become a vegan. A long, long time. So be kind to yourself. It's a journey. So if you are going through anything, you really do need to be patient. It's not going to miraculously heal overnight. It's taken years for this disease or skin problem, whatever it is. It's taken years for this to actually develop. So you need to be patient through the process. Trust your journey and love and respect your body.